Hello and welcome to Sound of Sport TV. We're live 24/7, 7 days a week bringing you the latest sports news, highlights, and sporty music, tracks, and videos. Our team of human and AI anchors are here to keep you updated on all the action, from football to basketball, and everything in between. Enjoy the show.
All right, so today's deep dive is going to be a little bit different. We're still tackling the world of football, but we're going to be doing it with a twist.
Ooh, a twist.
Yeah, we're playing a game of fact or fiction.
Okay, I like it.
All about Manchester United star Marcus Rashford.
All right.
And to make things even more interesting, our source material for these mind-boggling claims is none other than the Sound of Sport TV facts.
Interesting.
You know, that unique blend of sports and music hosted by the one and only Dubz.
Oh, yeah, Dubz. I love that song.
Dubz keeps the football world entertained, and today we're using his show's facts to put your knowledge to the test.
I love it.
Think, Rashford inside and out. Let's see.
Let's see. I've got a stack of statements here straight from Dubz himself.
Oh, wow.
Get ready to decide fact or fiction.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Let's kick things off with a statement that might surprise even the most die-hard Red Devils fans.
Okay.
Ready. Here it is. Marcus Rashford scored 30 goals for Manchester United in the 2022-23 season. Fact or fiction?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm going to say fiction.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Dubz is hyping him up a little bit too much?
Yeah, I think so. I think 30 goals is a lot.
It is a lot, but amazingly, it's a fact.
Wow.
Rashford really did hit that 30-goal mark.
That's impressive.
It is impressive.
I knew he was talented, but 30 goals is a whole other level.
It really is, and what's really interesting here is the contrast with his performance the following season.
Okay.
His goal count took a pretty steep dive.
Really?
Which makes you wonder what happened.
Right.
Was it a change in tactics, loss of form?
It's a real head-scratcher.
It is.
I'm already intrigued to see what other facts or fictions we uncover today.
All right, ready for statement number 2?
Hit me.
This one's straight from the rumor mill. Rashford was fined in January for missing training because he was out partying in Belfast. Fact or fiction?
This one's tricky because we all know footballers have a reputation for, shall we say, enjoying the nightlife. Plus, it sounds like a classic Dubz headline, doesn't it? But something about it feels off. I'm going to say fiction.
You're right to be cautious.
Okay.
It is indeed fiction. He was fined for a night out, that much is true. But the missed training session was actually due to illness.
So the media, or maybe Dubz himself, might have blurred the lines a bit there.
Yeah.
It's interesting how these narratives get formed around players, often based on incomplete information.
Absolutely. It highlights how important it is to dig a little deeper and consider all sides of the story.
Okay, on to statement number 3.
All right.
This one's all about the money. Rashford's weekly wages are higher than any other player at Manchester United. Fact or fiction?
Now this is where things get really juicy. Fans are always fascinated by player salaries.
Really?
And Dubz knows it.
Uh-huh.
But is he playing it straight here?
I have a feeling this is fiction. I follow the transfer rumors pretty closely.
Okay.
And I don't recall Rashford ever being touted as the highest earner at United Margate. There are some big names on that squad.
There are some huge names on that squad.
Yeah.
You're spot on, it's fiction.
Okay.
And to add to the intrigue, the source material doesn't reveal the exact figures.
Oh, really?
So while we know he's not the top earner, we're left wondering where he ranks among his teammates.
See, it's all part of the Dubz magic, isn't it?
It is.
Keeping us guessing, sparking those debates among fans. All right, let's move on to statement number 4.
Okay.
Paris Saint-Germain is one of the clubs rumored to be interested in signing Rashford. Fact or fiction?
The transfer rumors. This is where things get really exciting for fans.
I know, right?
A potential move to PSG would be a massive shakeup for Rashford and the Premier League.
And it wouldn't be surprising would PSG has a history of splashing the cash on top attacking talent.
They really do.
But is there any substance to this rumor, or is it just Dubz stirring the pot?
This one, my friend, is a fact.
Wow.
PSG has been mentioned as a possible destination for Rashford.
Interesting.
And it makes sense considering their transfer strategy. They've always been ambitious in the transfer market, and Rashford would certainly fit the bill.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Rashford would thrive in a new environment.
Yeah.
Maybe with less pressure and a different style of play, or would he miss the familiarity of Old Trafford?
It's a fascinating question. A move like that could reignite his career, or it could be a risky gamble.
All right, one more statement to round out this first set.
Okay, let's hear it.
Here it is. Rashford has started in all of Manchester United's high-profile matches this season under their new manager. Fact or fiction?
Now, this statement gets to the heart of Rashford's current situation at United.
Okay.
Has he cemented his place as a key player under the new regime, or is he facing more competition than ever?
I'm going to go with fiction on this one.
Okay.
Even with his goal-scoring ability. I haven't seen Rashford's name on the team sheet for every big game.
It seems like
The new manager is still figuring out his best lineup.
you're absolutely right. It's fiction.
Okay.
While he has contributed with goals, the article makes it clear that Rashford isn't an automatic starter anymore.
That adds another layer of complexity to his future at the club, doesn't it? He's clearly talented, but maybe not indispensable in the eyes of the new manager.
It's a delicate balance. Can he adapt and fight for his place, or will this uncertainty push him towards the exit door?
We'll delve deeper into those questions as we continue our fact or fiction journey. But for now, let's take a quick breather before diving into the next round.
Sounds good. All right, are you ready to jump back into the world of Dubz?
Absolutely, I am.
See what other Manchester United facts or fictions he's cooked up?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm starting to think that Dubz knows more about what's happening at Old Trafford than the manager himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, let's put that theory to the test.
Okay.
With statement number 6. Manchester United are considering selling Rashford to ease their financial burden. Fact or fiction?
Ooh, this one has me thinking, we know there's been a change in ownership at United, and they've been talking about being more careful with spending.
Right.
Plus, Rashford is a valuable asset.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards fact on this one.
You're right on the money. It is a fact.
Wow.
The article mentions that selling Rashford could be a way for the club to generate some much-needed funds.
Right.
Of course, his high wages could be a potential obstacle for any interested buyers.
Right. It's a reminder that football is a business as much as it is a sport.
Absolutely.
Sometimes tough decisions need to be made, even if it means parting ways with a fan favorite.
Okay, let's move on to statement number 7.
Okay.
This one delves into Rashford's state of mind. Rashford is unhappy with his current role at Manchester United and wants to leave. Fact or fiction?
This feels like classic Dubz territory, tapping into those emotional storylines that get fans talking.
Definitely.
But based on what we've discussed so far, I'm not convinced.
Okay.
Just because he's not an automatic starter doesn't necessarily mean he's unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm going to say fiction.
You're good at reading between the lines. It is fiction.
Okay.
The article doesn't mention anything about Rashford expressing discontent or seeking a move away from the club.
Maybe he's the kind of player who thrives on competition and is determined to prove his worth to the new manager.
Yeah.
Or perhaps he's just biding his time, waiting for the right opportunity to make his move.
It's possible. Time will tell.
Okay.
Now for statement number 8. Rashford has had several disciplinary issues at Manchester United this season, leading to friction with the manager. Fact or fiction?
This one is a bit of a curveball.
Okay.
I remember the article mentioned that incident in Belfast earlier in the year,
Right.
but I can't recall anything about further disciplinary issues.
Okay.
I'm going to say fact, but with the caveat that it might not be entirely accurate to say it's been several issues this season.
You've hit the nail on the head. It is a fact that Rashford has faced disciplinary action in the past,
Okay.
including the incident in Belfast, however. The article doesn't specify whether there have been any further issues this season.
It's almost as if that one incident has created a narrative that continues to follow him, even if it's not representative of his current behavior.
Exactly. It shows how quickly a player's reputation can be shaped by a single event, even if it's taken out of context.
Right, it's like that old saying, you're only as good as your last game, or in this case, your last disciplinary issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, 2 more statements to go in this round.
Bring them on.
Statement number 9. Rashford is a product of Manchester United's youth academy. Fact or fiction?
Come on, Dubz. Even I know this one. That's a fact. He's been with United since he was a kid.
You got it's definitely a fact. Rashford is a true product of the Manchester United youth system.
Yeah.
And that makes his potential departure even more poignant for some fans.
It would be a shame to see him leave the club where he developed into the player he is today. All right, last one for this round.
Okay.
Rashford is currently the highest paid English player in the Premier League. Fact or fiction?
Ooh, Dubz loves to throw in these financial bombshells, but is this one true?
I'm pretty sure I've seen articles listing other English players with higher wages.
Right.
This has got to be fiction.
You're right. Again, it is fiction, while his wages are undoubtedly substantial.
Right.
There are other English players in the league earning more.
Well, there you have it. Another round of fact or fiction successfully navigated. It's amazing how much we've learned about Rashford's situation at United, all thanks to Dubz and his unique brand of sports infotainment.
It just goes to show that you can't always believe what you hear, even from a charismatic personality like Dubz.
Right.
Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper to uncover the real story.
And I can't wait to see what other surprises await us in the final round.
All right, are you ready for the final round of fact or fiction?
I am.
Dubz has saved some real head-scratchers for last.
Oh boy.
Are you ready to separate truth from hype?
Let's go.
Okay, statement number 11. Rashford has publicly expressed frustration with the Manchester United board. Fact or fiction?
This is interesting. We know there have been some changes at the club recently. New owners and new direction. It wouldn't be unheard of for a player to feel a bit disgruntled. But has Rashford actually voiced these frustrations? I'm leaning towards fiction.
You're right on the mark, it's fiction. The article doesn't mention anything about Rashford speaking out against the board or expressing dissatisfaction with the club's management.
So it seems like he's keeping any potential frustrations under wraps, at least publicly. Maybe he's trying to avoid adding fuel to the fire, especially with all the transfer speculations swirling around.
Right, makes sense. Okay, for statement number 12, Rashford's current contract with Manchester United expires at the end of this season. Fact or fiction?
I vaguely remember reading something about his contract situation, but the details are fuzzy. It's hard to keep up with all the ins and outs of these player contracts. I'm going to go out on a limb and say fiction.
You've got a good memory. It is indeed fiction. The article clearly states that his contract runs until 2028.
Wow, 2028. That's a long time. It seems like Manchester United were really committed to keeping him at the club.
They certainly were, but as we've seen, a lot can change in football, especially with new owners and a new manager at the helm. Will that long contract be an asset or a liability for Rashford? It's a question that will be debated by fans and pundits alike.
On to statement 13. Rashford has been linked with a move to a club in Saudi Arabia. Fact or fiction?
The Saudi Pro League. It's the new frontier for footballers seeking a lucrative challenge. Could Rashford be tempted by the riches on offer?
I recall the article mentioning something about interest from Saudi clubs. It wouldn't be surprising considering the number of big names they've attracted recently. I'm going to say fact.
You are absolutely correct. It seems the allure of Saudi Arabian football is reaching even established Premier League stars.
It would be a huge decision for Rashford. Would he be willing to leave the Premier League and the spotlight of European football for a new adventure in the Middle East?
It's a question only he can answer, but it's a testament to his talent that he's attracting interest from such a wide range of clubs.
All right, statement number 14. Rashford scored a hat-trick in his most recent appearance for Manchester United. Fact or fiction?
This one has that Dubz flair for the dramatic, doesn't it? A hat-trick would certainly silence some of his critics and maybe even secure his place in the starting lineup.
It would be a statement performance, that's for sure. But if I recall correctly, the article didn't mention anything about a recent hat-trick. I'm going to say fiction.
You're right. Again, it's fiction while he has scored goals this season. The article doesn't highlight any hat-trick heroics.
Okay, here it is. The final statement of the game. Rashford is considering retiring from professional football at the end of the season. Fact or fiction?
Now, this would be a bombshell. A player of Rashford's age and talent hanging up his boots. Surely Dubz is just trying to get a reaction out of us.
He's got to be. Rashford is still relatively young and has so much potential. I can't imagine him walking away from the game just yet. This has to be fiction.
You are absolutely right. It's pure fiction. Rashford is still in his prime and has plenty to offer at the highest level.
Phew, thank goodness for that. It would have been a sad day for football if he decided to retire so early. Well, that wraps up our fact or fiction journey through the world of Marcus Rashford, as seen through the lens of Dubz and the Sound of Sport TV facts.
It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? From those mind-boggling goal tallies to those juicy transfer rumors, we've covered it all.
And I have to say, I'm impressed with how our listeners navigated these tricky statements. It wasn't always easy to discern fact from fiction, but you all rose to the challenge.
It just goes to show that you can't always take everything you hear at face value, even when it comes from a source as entertaining as Dubz. Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper, consider the context, and form your own conclusions.
And that's what we've tried to do today. We've explored the facts, dissected the rumors, and hopefully gained a better understanding of Marcus Rashford's current situation at Manchester United.
It's a fascinating story that's still unfolding. Will he stay at Old Trafford and fight for his place? Will he seek a new challenge abroad? Or will he surprise us all and take a completely different path?
Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure. Marcus Rashford's journey is far from over, and we'll all be watching closely to see what happens next.
And who knows, maybe Dubz will be there every step of the way, providing his own unique commentary on this ever-evolving saga.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Marcus Rashford. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the conversation going.
Thanks for tuning in to The Sound of Sport TV, where we bring you the latest sports news and the hottest beats to keep your energy high. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thrilling updates. Until next time, stay tuned and stay sporty.